Well, welcome ladies and gentlemen to VanillaTV with KnOxXx, Beta and Comedian, bringing you Quarantine versus Epsilon. I don't really know what week it is of ETF2L Season 13, but it is the Premiership division, and KnOxXx is here to take you through the lineups and the map, of course, because some of you may not have seen it yet.
Right, okay, well, lineups for Epsilon, since they're the full team in the server at the moment, we do have KnOxXx, we've got wltrs, Mike, Gear, Numlocked and Schocky. I'm sure you probably know the classes by now, but in case you don't, we are going to be having Schocky and wltrs on Scout. We're going to be having Mike and Gear as Soldier, Numlocked on the Demo Man, and KnOxXx running Medic. And for Quarantine, well, they don't yet have 6 in the server, and I assume it's going to be their usual 6, but I'll just call the players who are in here at the moment. We do have Lime, Kritzonite, VQuan or Quan, Fu, and Zappis, and awaiting one last person to join the Source TV.
Yeah, he's probably joined the server already. So, I said I wasn't really certain what week it is because it's really a case of Epsilon are behind in their games, so they're playing sort of catch up. And as for Quarantine, they've actually played majority of their games, so they've only got a couple left, in fact, and they have had a mixed season. So they've actually lost 2, won 1, and drawn 1, and the only one they beat KnOxXx's team at Deserto. I assume I got the pronunciation right, by the way, Keith.
Yeah, I think so.
Deserto? No, and they also took a map off Punchline. So they've had a mixed results, whereas Epsilon have beaten Best Friends Forever, and they have also beaten KnOxXx's other team as well. KnOxXx, you don't seem to be having a very good season, mate. I think you need a new. I think you need like someone to just step in now and then.
What? Someone utility soldier, scout, sniper,
stroke heavy,
occasional heavy,
and,
yeah.
And get it right, appalling at all of them.
Not appalling, just below average. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We're on about Beta, by the way.
Yeah,
he's a good utility player. Premiership, remember that.
Yeah, season 2 and 1.
Team number 15
season.
on E2F2L.
Yeah, and player number, I don't know, something. It's a 3-digit player number, like my Steam ID.
Signed up to
5-digit
E2F2L.
Steam ID, mate. I was playing on Counter-Strike a while ago, a long time ago, and it used to be, oh my gosh, you have a 5-digit Steam ID, that means you're cheating.
No, it means you definitely. It means you definitely
but
weren't
to some
cheating.
it was like your Steam ID is too low. That must mean you're cheating. And then you get the other guy who come along and go, no, his Steam ID means he's just an old fart. And I'll be like, yeah.
It's not just that. People used to turn around and say, no, there's no way anyone would want to cheat on a Steam account that has such a low ID because they're worth so much money. And people pay money for low Steam IDs. Just
I remember they used to go on eBay, didn't they?
Yeah,
like a few £100. I remember that. Remember the good old days, and we were just reminiscing over TFC days, by the way. So, if you can think of any sort of phrases that we don't say over the course of the day, the course of the cast, then let us know. And but we're going to try and deploy all of the ones we know, and I'm especially going to get the nerve gas released in there somewhere.
How are you going to get that on a map?
I don't know. And he gets a first CP, and it's going to release the nerve gas.
That'd be fine on a payload map because you could just say that the bomb is some sort of nerve gas bomb.
That'd be an amazing defensive weapon. The defensive team can release nerve gas. They only have 1 point. They only had to do it once.
If you're exposed to the gas for longer than like 1 second, then you get killed. So you've got a multi-Uber your whole team to keep them alive. Just keep passing the Uber just to save them from the nerve gas. The pyro would be alright though, wouldn't he?
That's a good point, actually.
He's wearing a gas mask.
But do you reckon if you use a flamethrower, it'll explode?
it just takes down the whole map. Oh. Yeah. Flammable nerve gas.
Oh dear. Right, we're just reconnecting to the server now. So if you have just joined us, this is VanillaTV. Tonight bringing you Quarantine versus Epsilon E2F2L Season 13 Premiership, of course, division, powered by, I think it's TT eSports or Thermal Take, whatever they're called. I think it's all the same company. But yeah, they're providing the prizes and the stash, I believe, for the Premiership, and I think there's something for Division 1. Don't quote me on that. But it is gonna be, from the looks of Source TV below the map where I'm currently looking, it looks to me like it's gonna be process first. KnOxXx, just walk us through it.
Right, yes, Process. It's an interesting map. A lot of people might not have seen it before, especially if you're not a competitive TF2 player anyway. You probably haven't downloaded this to play on a public server. But it plays... It's actually plays quite well. The midpoint seems quite open, but there's these rocks and the buildings, which mean it plays a little bit like Granary. Sort of players want to try and secure the top points, but those health packs just each side of the midpoint are just so lethal, because especially in the later stages of the mid-fight, there's one scout left and he picks up one of those health packs just after he's weak, and you're like, oh, okay, he's got health. You weaken him down again and he goes to the other side and picks up that health pack as well. And it's just, yeah, it's the mid-fights can be quite crazy on this. As for the second and fourth CPs, they aren't very easy to hold against a attacking team. You tend to find that most of the pushes over onto those fourth and second capture points tend to work in the attacker's favour. I think that's just because players get pressured back quite easily into their last point, but then the last point is quite difficult to push. There's a lot of room for players to retreat. And yeah, the other thing is to mention is that there's a nice selection of classes that tend to be used on this map. You can run heavies, you can run snipers. I think it's because the playstyle isn't that refined yet. It's quite a new map.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So this is VanillaTV bringing you Quarantine versus Epsilon Process E2F2L Season 13 Premiership Division. Arcs, run us to middle.
Right, okay, so demo men both inside the point. We do have Numlocked just spamming over, trying to block off the demo man over near that health pack. It looks like, oh, an early death from Vcon gets taken down by Numlocked. He also gets Zappis there, and Phone. Numlocked with 3 men down already. They've only lost gear, but he takes down a fourth of Lime. Schocky gets the scout of Kalho, the soldier of Kalho even, and it's only Kritzonite falling back on his own. He's been chased by the soldier of Mike and wltrs, and, well, this is going to be incredibly quick here. They've kept their medic alive. They're just about to cap mid, and they've already got all their players on the fourth.
Yeah, pretty much aggressive play as you would expect from Epsilon. They're even running crits as well, Arcs, so that's how confident they were on that first mid. Maybe they know, but let's just going to watch them coming in. Double engineer deployed to get that level SG up to level 3. That's taken down by Mike straight away as they now come into the point. Crits has been deployed. Crits are in. No hits with the crits. Only wltrs going down for Epsilon, in fact. And here comes the respawn coming in. All of the quarantine planes are spawning almost at the same time, but they're still losing players all over the shop. It's going to be a 3-on-2. Epsilon still 2 players up at the moment. And it was only Schocky who fell back, and he's going to go 1-on-1 with Zappis as long as he doesn't manage to bait him out. And they're going to try for the recapture Arcs, but they could be careful here, because they are running sniper. Yes, I did see the sniper there. And wltrs takes down Fu, and they're going to fall back Arcs.
Yeah, crucially though, Epsilon, they're still on that crits, but they haven't really had much of a chance to heal anybody up here. Sniper's actually peeking inside the point. Zappis hasn't seen the direction he was looking on, but Vcon there, he pressured him outside of the point. But yeah, that crits hasn't been building as fast as it should have been. And it looks like Quarantine have got their Uber charge ready, and I wonder if they know that because the medic didn't go down, he might not have gone into the respawn yet and changed away from crit, so maybe they could push out on this knowing that they've got an Uber not against the crit, against the crits even.
Yeah, I think we already know as Lime gets taken down. That's one of the soldiers. Surely this is going to prompt the push Arcs. Mike is just sitting around on the right hand side at the moment, trying to see where the combo is. Crits are in. First crits takes down Zappis. Uber has been deployed, so crits versus Uber, we know what happens always. And Epsilon will just be happy to fall back out Arcs and recycle and hold that fort. They're coming back in. I would expect them to come back in. Only 3 players up for Quarantine. One of the respawns comes in as well, so it's going to be one of the soldiers and the scout and the medic on the point. So there we go. 1-0 the score. 27 minutes remaining. Very fast round there. Arcs, they just seem to be absolutely overwhelmed on the mid-fight, that first mid-fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shaky start. It's the first round of the game. Things like that can happen. We'll have to see if they change this again. There was a nice little ramp slide from Fu there, coming into the point, getting there a lot faster than Numlocked. And now we'll just have to see if they can do better. This time the scouts are getting some advantage for Quarantine and pressuring back one of the early jumping soldiers. Also, Gear's taken some big hits. Does manage to pick up one of those health packs we were talking about earlier. And he still had to fall out of choke. And with 2 players down, Numlocked and Schocky, it looks like Quarantine are going to be able to push forward aggressively. Actually, not that aggressively, because they do need some time on this midpoint. They do need to cap that out, just because well, they wouldn't want Epsilon to come back in with their Uber and block that mid.
Yeah, they are switching. They have switched back to Uber Arcs. You are right. They secure that midpoint.
Oh.
Want to be careful here. Uber has been popped. Actually, counter Uber coming in from quarantine. Imagine Epsi will want to fall back as long as one of the soldiers doesn't get caught. He goes flying into the air. Surely going to get caught there. Soldier chasing him as well. So Lime does chase after him, but in fact it's only Fu that goes down. This is all Hell's Breaking Loose trying to hold on to this 4 point. Epsilon will not give it up. They do have both of their soldiers outside, and the medic gets Uber saw once, twice. Kritzonite 81% Uber there, nearly had it straight away, but Mike manages to finish him off with that spade, and it was only VQuinn left up, and that's almost a wipe arc. Fu the only one up. I'm just trying to see where he's sitting. Surely he's not going to come through that choke, and no, he isn't. He's just sitting back at their own choke. So good recovery of that second round for a good mid-fight there.
Oh.
Zappis takes down Numlocked, headshotted him as he jumped away, which was quite nice. Getting a headshot into the medic as well.
Are they
Must
gonna
have
block
been
the cap?
overhealed there. They're looking like they want to come into Arcs.
Soldier has blocked that cap, so no forward respawn for Numlocked here. Just wanted to focus on that last push. Quarantine had that. They should not have messed that up. They could have probably sat around near the capture point, but I'm just going to hold that thought because Epsilon look like they want to come in. A load of players have gone in their little sewers entrance, if you want to call it that, and they do look like they are moving forward quite aggressively here. Soldier has made a jump up, does knock Kalho up into the air, and Lime gets taken down as well. Uber's been popped. Quarantine don't yet have their Uber, so a demo and medic have fall back to a very isolated position. The rest of them had to fall out choke. Epsilon have secured this midpoint, but they have used their Uber doing so, so it's not actually too bad of a trade for Quarantine, but we'll have to see if they can make a push back in. And it looks like they are flanking them from two sides at the moment. Players have gone through choke. They've Ubered. Numlocked does take down Fu, who was coming in to try and, well, put some damage out on him, but they've still got their Uber. Probably going to clean up this soldier now, and there's just one scout up on the point and a demo man coming in, trying to get some spam over on the medic, but he's going to have to fall back choke, and actually staying in very aggressively. And a scout, isn't that scout going to flank him? Maybe not. I guess he always had the option of jumping away.
Kalho was saved by Kritzonite, his medic then. The Uber just starting to fade as he got it on him, and it helped him finish off that last soldier. Epsilon looking like they want to contest it again, but in fact they are just trying to bait players forward onto that sniper who is sitting out the choke. In fact they're going to let them have it, Arts, as we would suspect. Going to start building up their defence. Let's just take a look at these slower moments of the game. This is the first sort of time we've had a little bit to look at the Uber percentages. So Kritzonite at 100%, and they are going to come through that garage area.
Yeah, and Walters
has been
looking
called
the wrong
now
way.
by Gear.
Yeah, sorry, Walters was on sniper looking over at Choker. He's now trying to help his scout out, kill them, but he does get taken down. The Uber has come in and pressured them back, but Epsilon do have their Uber. Only Fu is up on the point now. Uber's been popped, send the soldier flying up in the air, and he's not going to be able to accomplish too much with this Uber. It's nearly out, and they're getting surrounded here. They're only saving grace as the soldier of Gear, who's coming up over onto the cap point. Hasn't been spotted yet, does juggle the first soldier up in the air, but he gets taken down by the scout of VQuinn there. He's up on the point. Soldier and medic, Demo's also come to join the party. And it looks like Quarantine going to have to fall back and try and save their medic and demo. But no,
Wow,
Numlocked jumps in, does take down Kritzonite, and manages, with the help of Mike, to take down Fu. And Epsilon, 5 players up against 2 players. Zappis comes in, takes down Numlocked, and actually that's going to be quite crucial because they're going to get these forward spawns. However, there is 2 scouts on this midpoint.
Yeah, it might just delay it, Arcs. It looks like the soldier did get forward spawn. Kalho makes sure he doesn't get hunted down by the scouts. He's going to try and get back out through that sewers to rejoin his combo. As the scouts now come forward, VQuinn gets taken down, knocks soldier, so that's pretty good trade at the moment. Counter Kalho, the other soldier, got caught in those sewers like we were just talking about, and now we see Quarantine on the defence of their battlements area. And it, like Alex was saying earlier, this would be relatively easy capture here. It would be quite hard to come out and defend this. Assuming that Fu doesn't get caught here, he is isolated without his medic. Does eat a rocket, manages to survive. Walters and Mike come out, so they have held on to their second point, Arcs. And in fact, they're going to try and push through straight away. I mean, they know they've got a huge Uber advantage. That's why, because Nox went down, of course.
Yeah, the downside is though their combo's pushing through this very spammy choke, and they're going to have to Uber out here to get past the Demoman sticky. Soldier has jumped, but it looks like the Epsilon combo is safe and falling back sewers. Now the question is, are they going to bother to come back in? It does look like they are grouping, and it looks like they're coming for this. Scout and Demoman and Medic has pushed in towards the point, sent the Demoman of Fu flying. They have managed to cap it, however, so that's definitely a positive for them. Now our Quarantine going to come back in because their medic's gone down, it doesn't look like they are. It looks like they're going to fall back, which is going to give Epsilon a huge Uber advantage.
Yeah, this is going to be the same advantage Quarantine had walking into that point, but obviously attacking the midpoint instead of the second point, of course. I'm just following Lime at the moment. He just rocket jumps away. Very weak, actually, in fact, taking the risk, using the original, just falling back all the way back, looking for his medic. He still hasn't got the heal, and he's going to be sort of no use on this defending this second point now.
Because Zappis, Mike, oh, he missed a shot over near to the medic, and Demoman's pressuring him back. Sorry to interrupt you there, but I thought that was going to be almost their only saving grace here. I guess the only saving grace they've got now is the fact that Epsilon have to travel very far to get over onto this last point. Yeah, they've had to Uber through the door because of the sniper. There's a heavy up top. A lot of damage is going on him, but he is managing to spy for the time being. However, no players on the point. Great spam there from Numlocked and the 2 scouts.
Sorry, I had to get the TFC chant in there. So 2-0 the score, 10 minutes left. 10 minutes gone. Approaching that 20-minute warning, just following through to the point again. Nicely ramp slides off that onto the midpoint. Numlocked there at approximately the same time, so he won't really have an advantage. And he was caught last time, so let's just see where his positioning is this time. In fact, he's staying closer to the medic and the big med pack. Shocky and Fu, the first one to go down, so it's actually Fu who went down. That's the demo man of Quarantine. KnOxXx still staying up on the point, and it's forcing Epsilon back. They have lost 4 players. Nox with his Uber at 75%, and he's going to fall back with Numlocked. And it's a shame they don't have the players there, Ox. It's only Lime and kalho, Kritzonite on that point. But it will be interesting to see how they push through, because Shocky running sniper again, Ox. Maybe that'll force it. In fact, zappis running sniper as well. So sniper on sniper action.
Yeah, these points, especially sending the sniper through that sewers area where he can just open the door and immediately get a shot on someone. I'm surprised more demo men aren't just sticking off that door rather than concentrating on the chokes, especially when they know that teams often are running a sniper. But in this case, we do have, as you said, Shocky running sniper, and he is watching over that direction, anticipating that a sniper's probably going to go through there. Oh, great shot! Headshot by the sniper of Zappis there onto the soldier, finished off by a soldier rocket, but they do still have the sniper of Shocky, and he hasn't been seen yet. Misses a shot over onto medic. He's got another attempt, but goes for a no-scope on him, which wasn't really worth it, but the Uber has been popped. Counter Uber's also been popped. Are Quarantine going to fall back or stay in? It looks like they are trying to fall back, but their medic might get caught off a little bit here. Numlocked still busy, however, not going to be part of that chasing party, as he is dealing with the players over on the point. There is a scout over onto the medic, dealing quite a bit of damage. It's Recon over onto the medic. Does get finished off by wltrs there, and now, well, Zap is probably going to get taken down here by the jumping soldier, but he is trying to run away. Soldier lets him get a bit of ground, but he tries to run off into the sewers, and, yeah, gets picked off by Shocky, who went through that way to check for any stragglers.
It's a shame about Kritzonite there. He actually ran back towards the second point to get away from the soldier jumping over him. I think it was Mike, but he did actually in the end eat a rocket, and he just got juggled, and there was nothing he can do. So what's going to happen now is that KnOxXx is going to have about a 40% Uber advantage as they come onto this point. By the time they get there, in fact, they're going to do it without it, Arcs. So Numlocked already sticking off the combo in that top sort of right area. Mike coming in as well to help him out. Gear gets taken down in the background. I imagine that was just random rocket spam. But they're still losing players. Look at the health. kalho's down. Fu still being healed. He's also very weak. He needs to stay alive here. Epsilon 5 places up. They have Ubered, in fact. Sorry, I didn't see that. They did Uber to get through that choke point there. Only V-Quinn up at the moment. He jumps off the point, and in the end, he's taken out by KnOxXx's Ubersaw. 3-0 the score. 17 minutes remaining. Right now, it's one-way traffic, Arcs.
Yeah, but at the same time, I am impressed by how Quarantine's playing. This isn't easy for Epsilon at all. Epsilon are getting pushed back a lot. I think they're being more effective on their pushes, just getting the job done a lot more. Whereas Quarantine, it's a bit sort of 50-50 whether or not they're going to win each push. Whereas Epsilon, when they've got an advantage, they just seem to carry it to the end. And take a look at this mid-fight. Quarantine seem to be in the better position, getting a kill over onto Mike early and keeping all of their players alive. It looks like 3 players down for Epsilon. They are falling back, and I'm wondering, because they've got all 6 alive, are they going to push aggressively and just try and take this point uncontested? They do have crits at the moment, so we're just going to have to see if they can push forward. They have popped the crits now, trying to spam over, not really getting too much accomplished, and that's given the game away, but Epsilon not in a position to push out, considering they haven't even got their Uber yet.
Yeah, we might actually see Epsilon come back out the marks, because All they need to do is maybe just send out a soldier and a demo man or something, a soldier and a scout. What Quarantine needs to do here is really need to force it out of that medic, and at least get them down. One of the soldiers goes flying into the air. Not sure who that was, and in fact it's the Numlocked who goes after the medic this time as well. He is overextended, gets saved by his medic Zuba. Mike is the cost to Epsilon, but look at the health of Quarantine. They're going to have to fall back and heal up at that midpoint and gift back that second point. But right now, as you do know, the medic did not go down, so they will have their crits before that Uber. Let's just see if they can be the first team of this match so far to use it a little bit more effectively, and they do! Double crit rocket coming in on Schocky and Numlocked. Gear taken down as well. So 3 players down for Epsilon, and surely now Quarantine going to come up and capture this.
Yeah, that's it. They've got the numbers there. It looks like Mike's going to try and jump out and see what he can do here. No, he does get seen by the demo man, and no, he is still going for it. Jumps over to try and take down the soldier on the point, maybe just to buy his team some time, because they have got 61% Uber at the moment, and they might have that around the same time. If the medic does get picked off here, Kritzonite in a bit of trouble there, but does get, well, pocketed by zappis, taking down wltrs there. So Epsilon, 2 players down, and well, this crit is going to arrive roughly at the same time, but Epsilon in a great position up top where their medic should just be able to run in for cover. Let's see if they're going to have to pop Uber on this already. The crit hasn't yet been popped. They're trying to just do what they can without this. Oh, medic Kritzonite gets taken down by Numlocked. A lot of time, however, over onto the point, but Epsilon surely going to clean up with their Uber on some of their players, and there's only zappis alive. He is hasn't been seen actually. He should have waited. If he had have waited behind that little ledge, no one would have seen him, and he might have had a 1v1 against one of the scouts on the point, but instead it looks like Epsilon are going to take back this 4th.
Yeah, they are going to retake that arc, so I'd agree with you there. I'm surprised he went in because there was 4 people sitting on the point. Quite surprised that decision, but nevertheless, 3-0 the score. 15-minute barrier has gone, so 15-minute warning is up. This is VanillaTV's ArcSpeed and Comedian, the ABC Tuesday crew, bringing you Quarantine versus Epsilon eSports, ETF2L Season 13 Premiership Division, powered by TT eSports. And we do still have a game, and though the score suggests a one-way match, I can really assure you this is not being the case. Quarantine are still pushing them, and we're just following zappis as sniper at the moment, who just picked off, I believe it was Numlocked. So they're holding them quite easily. They're giving them a game, which is exactly what I predicted on process.
Yeah, that's it. Zappis just having a look, see if he can get shot over onto Gear, who has to rocket jump away. And with that Uber, I'm wondering, Epsilon seem to be waiting for them to try and come in. Now I'm just trying to find the medic to see. Now he is on a regular Uber charge, and they have pushed into that little sewers area. Sniper's trying to get some pressure on there, and we might find that Epsilon try and push this aggressively into them, because that tends to be their style nowadays. But Quarantine have backed off round to the choke again. Sniper desperately trying to get a shot, and we do have wltrs there, quite weak. Uber has been popped from Epsilon, not yet popped from Quarantine. They've just popped it now. Going to be chasing players back. There's also a soldier in the sewer area. Medic is falling back at the moment in time, and Numlocked trying to escape, does pick up one of those health packs, which has saved him from the scout. A V1 who does some excellent air strafing there, or should I say a double jump, and avoids the pill that was flying in his direction. But now we do still have that medic alive for Epsilon, and they do have 4 players alive, 1 sniper over at the choke. Gear's still in the point, actually takes down Fu, so they've lost a demo man, and even though Epsilon have got 3 players alive, a soldier, medic and sniper, they might still fancy this. They've taken down one of the scouts as well, but I guess with Epsilon's, Quarantine's forward respawns, they're just going to be able to hold on to this mid for a little bit longer.
Yeah, Kalho, the last one taken out, he went for the medic, of course. And it's going to be the medic of Kritzonite and Lime sitting at that back left corner. Lime still opting for the original. I haven't really used it as much as I should have tried, because I was an old Rocket Arena player, Quake 3 Rocket Arena player, and I'm probably a lot better with that than I am the normal rocket launcher. But nevertheless, people do favour it quite a lot these days. Finally ticking over that midpoint arcs, recapturing it as well. So 12 minutes remaining. Which is following Schocky at the moment. He gets a shot onto Medic, takes him down. I'm surprised that wasn't called. So now surely Epsilon going to forward roll onto this second point, and maybe if they can get down maybe one more pick, we might even see them roll onto last arcs. And Kalho is running heavy, waiting for that push already.
Yeah, I think if you're a medic in the Premiership of ETF2L and you hear a sniper shot, you better be undercover for the second one, because players just don't miss that second shot if they've missed the first already. But actually, Quarantine doing a good job holding this last at the moment. There is one scout, well, two scouts fighting in the lobby. Schocky comes out on top in that battle, actually crushes him with 2 meat shots. But in comes Soldier, just getting some spam rockets. That's Mike over on the little hallway entrance up the top right, if you're looking out from last. And still putting some spam on there, but I think if anything he's getting more scouting information to say, look, they're not coming out, they are just building on this last. And KnOxXx is going to be a massive uber disadvantage here, so we'll have to see if Quarantine can push out onto them. However, Epsilon have read this reasonably well. They have got a sniper and a heavy, almost sort of buying them some time, but just hoping that some spammer will come in.
Yeah, I was just thinking where Quarantine was sitting there with the medic. He seemed to be building on point, whereas Epsilon was building at the back left corner, because it would have meant that they would have had to jump maybe a little bit more to force it out, but it doesn't matter because they pushed in the end, so apologies for that. Zappis trying to recapture that second point. Is that still wltrs still running sniper? He did get shot into Fu, but it was a body shot. Uber charge now at 90% for the Epsilon team, and they're going to come on through the door, the choke point with Numlocked. Medic healing him. Just Uber is now ready to go. They will know that, of course. Of Kritzonite opting to stay back this time, which he should have done the first time, but it doesn't matter now. It's all history. Surely they need to try and get out of the marks, because otherwise they're going to find it really hard to hold last. Surely they need to send one person.
That's it. They could have.
They're letting Numlocked walk in the left door. Numlocked is in the point behind him. Uber is now popped onto the medic. He's still dancing around. Takes one sticky. He's flown away. Managing to ride that second sticky. Finally, the Uber is up, but look at the Quarantine team. Look at their health percentages. Fu is very weak. Kalho is taken down, in fact, and the rest of the Epsilon team are now coming in. And Medic, when he gets his Uber, it's going to be too late, and it is too late. Epsilon making it 4-0 the score with just under 10 minutes remaining.
Yeah, while it looked like Numlocked came into the point and didn't really deal any kills, the amount of damage that he dealt was still hugely significant. He basically just got a sticky or a pipe onto almost all of the Quarantine players, and at that point the medic just couldn't get them back up to full health. And I was going to say they're just scout food at that point. The scouts see half health players and it's just delicious for them. And yeah, in the end the team just came in and crushed it. So we are on to round 5. This could be the last round if Epsilon do take this one. 9 minutes remaining on the clock. And Quarantine again coming out on top on this middle. Epsilon just aren't being effective on these mids. And to be honest, that's what's keeping Quarantine in this game at this moment. Not that, well, okay, keeping them in the game. They are 4-0 down and they've really got to step it up. But I think it would have been over a long time ago if they hadn't been winning these mid fights.
Yeah, Quarantine, as I said, the scoreline suggests quite a one-sided game, but really, if you are watching the VOD, you will know, but or on the stream, of course. The scoreline, though, when they report it, if it does finish 5-0, that'll be a bit upsetting for Quarantine, I guess. Epsilon still liking to favour that, defending the second point to the last. Very favourable defending that. And Kritzonite took a massive pipe off someone then, and he is finished off by Schocky. He went all the way down to 5 health, in fact. And Quarantine now looking like they were going to hold on to it.
I was going to say, watch out for the scout who is running to last. There is a soldier and medic there, and he has forced them back. Might allow... Nah, they haven't really got the players to come back in. Scout did try to come in and just block it. Managed to block it for a nanosecond there, which actually I think that bought the medic the forward spawn. That tiny fraction of time he just got that spawn there, but I don't know. Maybe it wasn't anything to do with it.
Well, let's go with it, Diz. It was great play by the scout Zappis. We'll go with it. It was amazing
kind of,
play. Yeah. So KnOxXx, though, doesn't really care about it, actually. Uber is ready at 80% as they're going to come through that choke point. They haven't got the numbers there just yet. Was that shot onto Numlocked finished off by Quinn as well?
Headshot from Zappis. V-Quan just getting a few pistol shots, and Numlocked not too happy about that in the Source TV chat. But yeah, there is a scout on middle as this Uber comes in, and he's going to get a load of time on there. No one's really in a position to block it. Numlocked has just got spawn. Actually, I say that wltrs did manage to come onto that point, and it looks like Quarantine have lost a number of players. With regards to that back cap, that scout still, well, he was still alive for a while. It was actually VCOM, but that is a wipe for Quarantine, and Epsilon got 2 scouts over on this 4th point. They're going to be pushing very quickly here. Yeah,
it was in the end, Ox. I know you went to watch the mid what was going on there, but it was 2 scouts versus Kritzonite and the demo man of Fu, and well, the 2 scouts won. We're going to see Epsilon now coming in. Uber only at 70%, and Quarantine do not have the numbers. They're still going to flow everyone onto the point. V-Quinn actually going sniper. Demoman comes up to block as well. They might hold it for another few more minutes, but it's going to be The Soldier of Mike versus V-Queen, and V-Queen comes out with the help of Fu, of course, the Demo Man, on top. So Fu sticking up, waiting for another attack by Numlocked. So let's follow Numlocked, see if he's going to go mano-a-mano with Fu, but he isn't.
Well, no, Numlocked just sticking off the same door, but the other side as Fu there. And actually, Quarantine going with the 2 engineer strat. We do have a spy of Schocky for Epsilon and a sniper, so no scouts for this push. They are going to be relying heavily on that spy pick. But with that SG there, they I don't know, it might be tricky. But there's only 5 minutes in the game, so Quarantine probably going for a more respectable score rather than a win. And actually that SG gets taken down, but Numlock's taken down in the process. Sniper of wltrs is coming in, and there is the spy on the point, baiting a load of players forward. That's going to prompt a bit of spam from the soldiers, but they have lost the spy as well. Schocky getting taken down there, and Quarantine now going to be pushing. They have popped gear as well, and Nox only just about getting his Uber now. He does have 1 soldier with him, and he's committed to popping that Uber already. There is a scout up on the point, soldier of Mike just trying to force him off, but that scout's already jumped off to try and fight the Demo Man, who just got Ubered, doesn't manage to take him down, and Quarantine not being so successful with this push out at the moment. There's only 2v4 out on the point, and the scout, he's having to fall back.
Yeah, he's saying, sod that, I'm not going to fight there. Just going to fall back straight away and help his team get ready for the next defence. Just have a look at his percentages. Again, Kritzonite building fast. 40%, but he's taking 2 massive rockets. He's so weak, he needs to go back for a hill. Oh! And he is taken down by Gear as he runs back into spawn. So surely now Epsilon going to come in. Quarantine do not have the medic. The Demo Man goes down as well, courtesy of wltrs. So they have lost one of their massive damage dealers as well as their medic. They should probably think about coming back in with that Uberux. They're just going to wait for it and make sure. 4.5 minutes remaining. We could be looking at 5-0 here. It may just come down to V-Queen running sniper and see if he can get the pick. And I'm going to go in eyes with V-Quin to see if he does. He has hit the Demo Man. That's a heady on him.
Yeah, he's going to Uber early, though. He might as well change.
They Ubered early. In fact, V-Quin got shot just as he Ubered. Has switched up now. And the rest of the Quarantine team are delaying quite well, Arx.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. The point's so open on this last. They could fall back very, very far. But Numlocked and KnOxXx have got a really strong position just above them. And Demo Man Sticky's raining down over onto them, taking a lot of damage onto Foe, but it's only half health because he was fully overhealed. Numlocked gets taken down. There is still a soldier and a medic up there. And actually, they're just buying time. 4 minutes remaining on the clock. They've both gone out different ways. Medic trying to escape of KnOxXx and Mike getting taken down the other direction. But there is still a Schocky and a Gear.
Look where Schocky is.
I haven't found him yet, so he must... I see. This is what they should have done in the last push, but a soldier has seen him. He's still going to go for this because he's only got a 1v1 for the time being until the other soldier comes in, but no, he gets taken down. But crucially, that has bought them time to save Epsilon some time to save this 4th point from being taken.
Quarantine looking like they want to come out, Arx, make the score a little bit more respectable. Fu needs to be careful not to get caught here. Oh, Kritzonite taken down by wltrs again. I'm surprised at that again. I think he just came in the right door and got him. But surely now, Epsilon in the ascendancy of making this 5-0. 3 minutes left. They still have the time. I imagine they're going to wait for that Ubi. Schocky, even, running heavy as well. So they're going to wait for him to come in, distract, and then just probably walk in the top and welcome the team to the game. Numlocked taken down by V-Quin, so counter snipe there. That may delay it very short, very slightly, Arx. They're flicking up to where the heavy is sitting, in fact.
Yeah, this is why Epsilon opt to defend far forward on this, so that it just they can't get sniped from the back. But actually, in comes Epsilon with that Uber. They've still got that heavy to follow up. I'm not even sure where he is, but he's probably waiting until everyone's weak, or should I say just about to arrive near to the point. Sniper is still putting a bit of damage down. KnOxXx does go down, and heavy coming in full health, but not overhealed. He is quite long distance, so his bullets are only going to be tickling players over on the point now, but I don't think they're going to need it. 2 scouts alive, trying to focus onto the heavy. Soldier gets taken down on there by the Demo Man. Numlocked also taken down, and there's just KnOxXx and Gear alive. And, well, 2 minutes remaining. Epsilon not having a great deal of luck pushing this last point.
No, stubborn defense from Quarantine at the moment. They do not want 5-0 on the scorecard. Just watching Mike in eyes as he came in to that final push. He took down a couple of players just dancing around the shotgun of Lime. And it nearly won it for the team. Did I just see someone's running Spy again? Shocky running Spy again. V-Quin still running Sniper at the back right of the point. Let's just see where Kritzonite opts to build this time. So he is building at the back right of the point, which is where I've expected it before. They are also running sniper still, so Walter's still opting for that heavy. I'm still following Schocky. Walters, in fact, does take down the soldier of Kalho. I'm still following Schocky, so if you are on the stream, just watch it. See if he's going to go for the spy or the medic.
He's going for
sniper.
No, he doesn't need to anymore.
No, he doesn't. He's taken down. So Shocky's use in this fight has been removed. As now Epsilon come onto the point. Someone needs to come in and block it. Demoman is slightly too late. So there we go. 5-0 the score. This is being VanillaTV's Arc Speaker and Comedian, bringing you Quarantine versus Epsilon eSports ETF2L Season 13, powered by TT eSports. 1-0, 5-0 on this first map, so 1-0 of the game so far. It's going to be Badlands next, and Arcs. I'm surprised at the scoreline. I thought it was going to be slightly closer, but anyone that doesn't watch his VOD will think, oh yeah, total wipe, you know, total roll, but that really doesn't do Quarantine justice.
No, Quarantine, they had some great mid-fights. They had that part of the game down. Some great last defenses. I mean, obviously they've lost that last 5 times, but it wasn't easy for Epsilon to do it, and I think it was just their push through to second that was letting them down, really. So maybe another day, a bit of practice making those pushes, and Quarantine would have taken a few rounds off of Epsilon. But you've got to give credit where it's due. Epsilon's still a dominant force in the European TF2 scene, and just showing it here today with a 5-0 win over Quarantine.
Yep, so second map coming up just after a short break. So whilst myself and Arcs just go and get refreshments, Comedian will show you some words from our sponsors. Cheers.